Tonight. Welcome back, Fox lovers, to another video. And today, we are back playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Hold up, I need to do something. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, sorry guys. It's do something. But yeah, we're gonna be continuing the side stories. And yes, I have a cat here. It's really weird. Hi, cat. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear the purring or not, because she's purring really loudly. But yeah. I guess we should. Hold on. Okay, whatever. So let's just continue the side stories. Understanding. Okay. Stop that cat. Hold up. I gotta move this. It's kind of blocking the way of... There we go. There, whatever. Okay, so let's just continue. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. Stop that cat. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica. Okay, I was like, what? It's her, it's the girl. It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far. What's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle DuPont? I can't say I have. I can't. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheek in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Yuri. Cat, stop it. The cat's trying to get on top of the desk I'm on. She glances sideways at Yuri. I'm at Sayori, silently asking for help. Hold up. I'd love to. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that nothing to herself and considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri sets down on her desk. True. Okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but... What if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that... Monica, don't you think we should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. It's because you're afraid of nothing being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kinda scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay, that's exciting. That's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her fingers against the dawdling chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, a door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which combined with her short time gone indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Siri and sets the... Okay guys, I am back. I kind of ran out of space on my Xbox and stuff. So yeah, whatever, let's just continue. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested, but if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like as a club activity that would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I don't really know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Siri pulls her desk against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over Siri reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Part 1 of the Everlasting Saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh, right. I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just taking notes. Notes? Yes. That's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Siri's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. The other day, I had a soda in a bottle, like one of those water bottles and stuff. And like I guess I must have shooken it or something. I don't know. But like I was opening it because it had like this weird straw thingy at the top. So I like pressed the button to open it. But when I opened it, it went like the soda just went like it just shot out. Just like this like line just went up to the ceiling and it was like and I was like, what the heck? So like it went everywhere, and now this desk or like this drawer the TV is on is all sticky now and stuff. So yeah. That should be evident enough for 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart, especially you. No! Siri rubs her shoulder against Yuri. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the hold up, who said that? Anyway, would you like to get started? After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activities. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The most of it, she details the race, factions, history, elements of magic. The more questions Sayori seems to have. Despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspects of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kinds of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are like just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know. But this is there must be so much planning and hard work. You're into poetry. I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works like poetry and folk songs. No way! Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's head with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now, if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notebook. Hey, that's not for the book. I'm just kidding. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. But I'm kinda glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context, it I know the word, but I just can't say it. Means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that requires explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These phrases are described in flashbacks that Barnes is having. What the heck is okay? But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubbed her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value of the notes, as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in Yuri in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. Stupid. At last, Siri reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay, Siri takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up to this point? Siri tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep doing, makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it that way that you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me. Siri is left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Yuri stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time because I'm not good enough. I'll probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to be better for her. Okay. Well, time to move on to part 2 of understanding. For the first time, Siri is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at the desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Siri continues to wrestle with her deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club. Not Yuri or Monica. Damn. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri. Yuri? Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. Hold it up. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club is opened. I'm not. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was just wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity. With club. With club publicity stuff. Yes. Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this? All of a sudden, when she was so eager to spend time with Sierra before, did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic. She realizes that she could be so conflict avoiding after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tenses up at this stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? I'm sorry, I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of readings you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it, just like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it, huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thought, but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I should be complaining if you all I should be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to convince you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully, anyway. hopefully anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone um, will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with, not just only some people. Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of club would I? Otherwise, what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay, Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say, so I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So so it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into the third category. She what? Hold on. You're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just wanted to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I push onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stop short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monica looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fist clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori's different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're about to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has only one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monica hesitates to finish her thought so loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficult accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness. Further exacerbating the matter? Okay. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. but good friends work together and can be what they need for each other.
What are you doing?
Shh.
What are you doing?
Recording, Mother. Keep telling you
I
that.
want to take a bath.
Take Sharon there.
I need my stuff.
There's stuff in there, Mother.
It's not my stuff.
Okay, so what?
I want my stuff.
Why?
Did you press pause?
No, I can't press pause. It's not even recording the camera.
It's a recording.
This is what it's recording.
Why are you recording that?
Because I am.
Because it's weird.
Because you're weird. You don't need a shower at this time. There's plenty of other time to shower. You could have showered like an hour
I just
ago.
got home.
Like 2 hours ago.
You kicked me out of here 2 hours ago.
I kicked you out like 40 some minutes ago. Okay guys, I am back. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of this cycle of creation for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I need to communicate with her. Haha, you're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping me make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So thank you. Anytime. Monica smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monica's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. There's gonna be a lot of loud noise in the back. Yuri and Monica finishes replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monica mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monica. You're going to wait outside, are you? Heh. I can take a walk. Want me to go get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, though, so please don't worry about it. Although, I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. Now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up the water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monica waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. Moments of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Oh, nice. Yuri! Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but I got most of the way through it. And look, Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. Oh no. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friend to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really liked, I didn't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begins to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here. Before Monica sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monica what she did. Before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warmth pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Oh my god. Nice. It's okay. It's okay. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's gentle gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. Wait, why is the book on the floor? There's the book on the floor. There is Sayori, and then there's Yuri. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steady her voice. I think I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessed in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people, and stop ruining things myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sierra, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realized that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with things that you need too. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irritation, irrational? Yeah, irrational fears won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like. I I think you're really considerate in your own way, worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests, like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reason that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that, but I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at the comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the cares of Sayori's arms. Caress. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. I want to hide the text. I cannot hide the text because no button on this controller is able to hide the text. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori senses Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Ah, nice. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear, but we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I wouldn't be offended. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on though. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, and it's not good to touch other people without the consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back. Monika's back. I haven't seen you, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika.
Get back and quit trying to jump in front of me.
What?
Got her.
No.
Got her.
Why?
Now get.
Why?
You asked me for something to go.
Sayori trots over to Monika. Ah, she whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Ah, hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster, okay? Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as the literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes! Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Oh, where's Dusk? Dusk. And we've finished! We finished the second side story. Let me go get the picture. Right over here. Here is the picture for the Yuri side story. For Yuri and Sayori. And yeah. Well, I'm gonna actually end the video here. I need to do that because we finished the side story, and yeah. This video is gonna be a pain to edit as well because there's a lot of interruptions in the video. So yeah, I will see you all in the next video. So yeah, and peace out. Bye bye.